I once again have a pretty big stack of books that has slowly accumulated on my desk over the past few months, and so I figured it is about time for another book haul. Some of these I pre-ordered a while ago, others I got at I think a secondhand bookshop, and then a few were also gifts as well. I guess I'll just start off with the few that I got at a secondhand bookstore. So I got this edition of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. I just really love how old and used it looks, and also the cover is actually really nice on this edition. This one is a 1993 edition, and I just think it's so pretty, and I got it for less than $5. Then I got this edition of The Two Towers, which is like a movie tie-in edition from Peter Jackson's adaptations. So this one says that it is 2002. I think the text edition itself is from 1994, but the cover is 2002. But it's just a picture of the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is obviously iconic, so I could not pass up getting this edition of The Two Towers. Then I got this old edition of The Silmarillion, and the most recent date I can find printed in this one is 1979, so I'm pretty sure it's a 1979 edition. It's definitely quite old and very well loved, which I really love in a book. It's definitely been read quite a few times, and it's so floppy. So this was another one that when I saw it, I knew I had to have it just because of how well loved it looks. Then obviously I could not leave a used bookstore without getting another edition of Pride and Prejudice. So I got this 2000 edition, and I really love the simplistic drawing of the cover. It is absolutely stunning. And this one also looks very well loved and definitely has been read a few times. Next, I'll just show you some pre-orders that I recently received, like in the last couple of months. So starting off, I received volume 7 of Lore Olympus. I cannot wait to read this one, but I'm not sure that I've even read volume 6 yet. I don't remember. I'd have to look at it, honestly. But when I saw that this one was coming out, I pre-ordered it right away. If you don't know what Lore Olympus is, it is a retelling of the Greek mythology story of Hades and Persephone. I think it started off as like a webtoon and then eventually got picked up by a publisher and turned into a book series. And if you're into like the colors of the Disney Hercules and then also just like cutesy little comics is kind of your vibe, highly recommend this. It is a lot of fun. Then I got Ali by Junji Ito. This one I pre-ordered a while ago, and I'm super excited about it because I love a good Junji Ito horror, and this is one that looks terrifying just by the cover, honestly. So I don't know when I'm going to pick this up just because I don't know if I'm in the mood for nightmares right now, but definitely looks like a terrifying time. And then this one I am also super excited about. This is Uncanny by Junji Ito, and this is a memoir written by him that's about how he kind of created some of his characters in his horror manga, and then also why he got into horror and stuff like that. If you didn't know this about Junji Ito, he is actually afraid of a lot of things and has a lot of fears and phobias, and that's kind of where he gets his ideas from. It's very interesting that someone who is scared of a lot of things is the one to make such terrifying things. Also, I'm going to show you something. This is a jump scare, I'm sorry, but I could see like obviously there's some sort of design on the cover, so I took Dust Jacket off. Ah, what is this? That is horrifying. Not what I was expecting. So I literally almost screamed when I took off the dust jacket the first time. Leave it to Junji Ito, honestly. I would expect nothing less, but also, like, jeez. But I definitely cannot wait to read this one. I didn't even know he was making a memoir. He's definitely a person that I'd love to learn more about and kind of try to understand how he comes up with some of the disturbing things that he thinks of. Then I also recently received Paper Boat by Margaret Atwood. So this is a huge bind up of like all of her poetry from 1961 to 2023. Absolutely massive. This was also very expensive, but I did get it on sale, thank goodness, because I believe, yes, it's $50 Canadian, which Canadian books are expensive, but that's atrocious. So hopefully it's good. I don't think I've ever read any poetry by Margaret Atwood, but people swear by her, and she must be popular for a reason, so I'm really hoping that I love some of it. Then I also got The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. So Ali Carter was an author that I was really into as a kid. She wrote I'd Tell You I'd Love You, but Then I'd Have to Kill You. So I think that was called the Gallagher Girls series or something like that. And then she also wrote the trilogy Heist Society. I loved those when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. And I guess this is her first adult kind of murder mystery, and it definitely seems like kind of like a cozy Christmas vibe. So I definitely think this is going to be a really fun one to pick up come December. Then I got quite a few Agatha Christie's because I'm slowly trying to complete my Hercule Poirot collection with all the matching covers. So every once in a while I buy like 5 or 6 just to keep adding to it before they change the covers on me again and I'm screwed. So the first one is The Underdog and Other Stories. Then I got The Big Four. Then we have Evil Under the Sun. Then The Hollow. Then Poirot Investigates. This one I had a really hard time finding. I'm so glad I finally found it. The texture of the cover is different than all the other ones, but at least the font and picture kind of matches, so I guess I can't complain about it too much. And then The Labor of Hercules was the last one that I picked up. Then I got Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. I see so many people reading Dolly Alderton, so I figure I should probably jump on that train and pick one up for myself. So I guess this one is supposed to be a rom-com about ghosting people. I'm not sure if she's the one doing the ghosting or the people around her are ghosting her. Definitely sounds like a fun time. I can definitely see that making a really funny romantic comedy. So I thought this would be a good Dolly Alderton to kind of start with. Then I picked up Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I still have not read Cleopatra and Frankenstein, so I don't know what business I think I have going out and buying another one of her books, but I'm just hoping I like them at this point. If it's on sale, sometimes I just can't help myself, I'm not gonna lie here. It looks gorgeous. I have no idea what it's about. I just know that people love Coco Mellors and I'm hoping that I'm one of those people. Next I got Before We Were Innocent by Ella Berman. This one is giving murdery vibes. I think it's like 3 friends go on a vacation and only 2 return home, and they won't say a word about what happened to the 3rd friend. And so I think it's kind of about finding out if they offed her or if somebody else did or what really happened. It's definitely giving murder mystery beachy kind of vibes, which is always a fun time, so I'm hoping this one is really good. Then my sister got me this beautiful edition of the original Addams Family comics. So this one is called An Evolution, and it's just a huge bind up of like all of the original comics. I honestly did not even know that the Addams Family, oh my gosh, I can't get the dust cover on right. There we go. I honestly did not even know that the Addams Family was comics, and I feel not very intelligent not knowing that. But I guess it was originally comics before it was turned into all the different adaptations it's been turned into. The Addams Family is definitely one of my favorite kind of spooky movies to watch around Halloween time, and it always kind of has been. So I'm super looking forward to reading this. I absolutely love it. It is such a good gift. This is literally my perfect gift. Then I got this very moody looking collection of poetry called American Melancholy by Joyce Carol Oates. Just the cover really caught my eye. I think I picked this one up in a bookstore and just bought it solely based on the cover, but it looks like such a moody, sad, melancholic vibe. So can't wait to read this one, and I hope it is just as sad as it looks, because sometimes we need sad poetry in our lives. And then last but definitely not least, I've been looking for this collection of short stories for an eternity, and I finally found it, and that is My Pen is the Wing of a Bird, and it is a book containing 23 works of short fiction by 18 Afghan women. I have heard a lot of good things about this collection, and apparently it is very beautifully written and emotional at times, and I cannot wait to get into it. I was so happy when I finally found this one in the store, just because I've been looking for it for such a long time and I could never find it, so I finally got my hands on this one. I think that is definitely one that's going to be on my 2025 TBR if I don't end up reading it before the end of this year. But I think we have finally reached the end of my pile. Definitely had a lot more books in this haul than I thought I was going to, but we finally got through them, so I think I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you have a great rest of your week and happy reading.